Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Alex.
What's this?
Oh, this is Brains on the Outside.
What's that?
Well, it's our podcast where we do ridiculous businesses to solve the world's issues.
Each week, we take one of our listeners' problems and we each pitch a company, product, or service to help them out.
And then we bicker about whose idea was best.
Previous ideas have included a holiday resort where you just get to dig a huge hole and a nursery which will train your baby to be a CEO.
How's it going, Alex?
It's going pretty good. Don't like that it's raining outside today.
I don't like it either, but so I am doing something very innovative at the end of the week. I am going to San Francisco, and I don't expect it to rain there. I feel it feels quite an innovative place.
I feel like it's like the birthplace of innovation these days. It's where a lot of innovative stuff, a lot of outside brain style ideas seem to come from San Francisco. Although maybe they're not so outside brain these days. They're more like, we've reinvented taxis. Have you heard of the flushing toilet? It's a brand new thing. Yeah.
Another type of bus, another type of social media.
Yeah, exactly. That feels like it. What are you going to San Francisco for?
I'm going to go give a talk actually about work stuff, but I'm going to jam my time in the rest of there doing innovative out there things, let's say innovative out there. I mean, every normal tourist attraction like Alcatraz and baseball, which might be innovative if it was in the UK, but it's not.
It's just normal there.
Just normal American stuff. Big foam finger.
I feel like Alcatraz was probably innovative at one point because that was like, what if we built a prison on a rock?
It's cool. Like, I already know where this conversation is going.
Where's it going?
And we're going to have a few more sentences about how cool it is to put a prison on a rock, and then you'll bring up the movie The Rock. Is that what it's called? I've never seen it.
What? You have to watch it in preparation for going. Otherwise, you're not going to know what happens if you get caught in a terrorist attack on the rock.
So he works in the prison and he has to break out or break in. Is it the one where he fought the... You're looking at me as if I'm embarrassing myself by not knowing the plot of The Rock, but...
Yeah, man. You are. Totally. This is embarrassing for everybody involved. Even everyone listening to this podcast right now, that every person is embarrassed by your lack of knowledge of The Rock, the film, not the person. So the story of The Rock is that Nicolas Cage is he's a bioweapons expert, and it's set in like the 90s because it was filmed in the 90s. Ed Harris is a baddie, and he decides that he's going to lock down the rock, and there are tourists on the rock, and he locks down the rock and takes it over while there are tourists on there, and he takes them hostage. And then Nicolas Cage is teamed up with some people to break into the rock, including Sean Connery, who is apparently the only person who has ever escaped from Alcatraz, or at least attempted to escape from Alcatraz.
That's pretty
so
good.
They have to break into the rock in order to defuse this chemical weapon that Ed Harris has got on the rock.
Now, we are a show about innovation and business ideas. Do you feel this movie is particularly innovative? Do you think it warrants 3 minutes discussing it?
I think it was, when I was, 16 or 17, it was the greatest movie I had ever seen, ever. It's pretty outstandingly good. As for movie innovations, it's full of a lot of action-packed stuff. It's got some automated sentry turrets in it. It's got some green globule crystals that are poisonous in it. The very beginning of the movie starts with Nick Cage disarming a chemical weapons bomb that's inside a plastic baby doll.
That's pretty innovative. I think generally the concept of, breaking out of a prison is pretty cool, but breaking into a prison, that's actually maybe even cooler. And it's a little bit more innovative. No one else is doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Apart from Sean Connery, it seems.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it for you, but also Nick Cage is terrified of needles, and the only way to survive this particular type of chemical weapon is to stab yourself directly in the heart with a special Yeah, a special what's the word? What are those things called? The insulin injector thing or the EpiPen?
Syringe?
The special EpiPen. Yeah.
This is actually great because we've led back on to another amazing way of segueing into our reader question.
We totally have, haven't we?
Yeah. Like an EpiPen is a way of like, well, it's how they cure the person in Pulp Fiction from the overdose, right? No, that's a pen. That's just hitting her with a pen. But it's just a general way of curing you from your diseases and ills. Like exactly the problem our listener has.
That's
Should we roll
exactly
the tape?
True. Let's roll the tape.
My hay fever is really, really bad, and the hay fever pills can buy over the counter hardly work. Is there anything you brains on the outside people can do? Thanks, Sniffly Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thanks for that. I have a lot of sympathy for this. I suffer quite badly from hay fever as well.
So do I.
I am a sneezy boy.
I knew this question was coming up, and I spent a lot of time thinking about things. But one thing that I really got stuck on was the fact that, night fever is a good thing. Like you want to dance, but hay fever is not like the barn dance equivalent, and that got me stuck for a while trying to come up with business ideas. And I was like, I'm spiraling here thinking about country people
That's
dancing.
True.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fevers, right? There's also that fever that can only be cured with more cowbell.
Yeah, and that's a good one as well, really.
That's a good one, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Christopher Walken had that. Yeah.
Now, do you have a innovative business idea, or product, or service that, well, I won't cure you from cowbell fever, but I will cure you from hay fever? Do you have that, Alex?
I have a couple of ideas that I think I need to kind of mash together into something that might work.
Okay.
In true style, I need to think about the monetization of these things because I haven't thought about it so far. And just charging every hay fever sufferer a large quantity of money for what I'm about to suggest doesn't seem like a reasonable thing to do.
No, well, let's see the suggestion first before we start arguing ourselves down.
There are also some real environmental issues with what I'm about to suggest that I think we need to work through. But then,
Alex,
I know about this already in some situations. So,
I was going to say the environment's fucked anyway. So
that's true. The environment is fucked. So I was just going to suggest that we shrink wrapped all the flowers.
Okay. Yeah. I see why that might be an issue, actually. So someone just goes with a lot of cling film one day, every flower.
Mm-hmm. Everyone.
Okay.
That's it.
That's
literally it. So I there's obviously issues around pollination because, hay fever, as annoying as it is, does that. It happens at the time when the flowers are pollinating so that the more flowers will grow. So we do need to resolve the pollination issue in some other way if all the flowers are shrink wrapped all the time.
Right. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
But if they are shrink wrapped all the time, that's handy because all the pollen is in little bags and attached to the flowers now. So actually pollinating them is really easy. We just take a little paintbrush and go around, dip it into one of the little baggies and paint the other flowers with the pollen, which unbelievably is what happens for quite a lot of fruit and vegetables and trees already because we've decimated the bee population. So this is really, it's killing two birds with one stone, to be honest. It's sorting the pollen problem out, and it's also making it less problematic that we've killed all the bees.
Right. Okay. So the bees are going down. Let's just take the flowers too.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. I mean, we may as well keep the flowers because they're going to be shrink wrapped and they're still going to be beautiful. They're also going to stay fresher for longer and last for longer, right?
I guess we could shrink wrap them at the time they look the prettiest. So they'll be perfect all the time. And I guess, though, painting the flowers with the pollen is going to take time, you're going to save a long gardening time.
Yeah. So I heard about in parts of China where they've completely destroyed the bee population because they've been growing so many apples. They have like orchards that are like hundreds of miles, huge, massive orchards, and they use loads of chemicals in them and the bees just die out. So the apple trees don't get pollinated anymore. So in certain parts of China in the summer or in the spring, you'll see people up ladders carefully pollinating all the flowers on the trees with brushes from other trees. Now, obviously that's horrendous.
Madness.
Yeah. And at some point, the Chinese decided to reintroduce bees as much as possible. So they started planting hives down the sides of the fields to get more bees in. But the bees are not as good as the people at pollinating the apple flowers because they're more random. So the people are more diligent. So they pollinate all of the flowers. You get a bigger crop of apples off the back of it.
I don't know what the moral there is. Like at the start, there's some kind of Blade Runner-y or weird dystopian about it. It's just hard to imagine 100 miles of apples in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
That in itself's breaking my brain. So are you saying actually your defense here is the humans 100% coverage of Durham County, we could do a better job with the bees? Is that what your argument is?
That's it. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the bees are already basically gone. We might as well give the rest of the bees a break for the rest of the time that they're going to be around. That's
it. That's how you sell it. That's actually a good point. Where we're giving the bees a holiday. Maybe we don't do this. Maybe just 1 year, the year of the bee. If you let the bees take the year off. This monetization is interesting because I guess this affects everyone in Durham County. Is this a tax thing? It's a council taxes, and then the beekeepers that year, instead of keeping the bees, they go and actually do this weird pollination baggy thing.
Now, I'm a big fan, obviously, of the public utility of that. I like that. You know, I'm not a fan of capitalism in my real life. However, for the sake of this business ideas podcast, I think we have to make it a capitalist venture. In which case we can't use taxes to pay for it. Or if we are going to use taxes to pay for it, we have to squander a lot of those in the process.
Oh, so we're giving it to our mates who aren't very good. Like there's some weird government consulting thing going on. Okay.
Exactly. There's Nadine Dorries up a tree trying to pollinate a tree and it's not working out.
Maybe should we do a quick round of ideas on how to monetize this? Right off the top of my head, this is a service. You pay us to come in, shrink wrap your plants.
It feels like that was where my brain immediately went, right? But I think it's expensive because it's going to cost a lot of money and a lot of plastic to shrink wrap all the plants in a 5 mile radius of your house. So for you your hay fever has to be so bad that you want to spend £5 million on shrink wrapping all the plants close to you for the year.
Right.
Which doesn't seem feasible. So there has to be a different, I don't know, there's got to be something else that makes sense. Maybe we get the bees to pay.
Huh. Well, are they going to pay in honey? Or
I guess so. I mean, they're getting the time off.
Yeah.
What if, wait, hang on.
Okay.
What if, now that we've given the bees all this free time, we can use them and their time for other things? Maybe it's monetizing the white noise of the hives that we have because the bees are in there more often. Yeah, that buzzing. Maybe that
secondary use case of bees. Now that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
White noise machines.
What is the passive profit maker that a bee has? What passive profit can a bee make?
Now, obviously, it's honey. They've not made a sequel to that Jerry Seinfeld bee movie yet.
Yeah.
They get into this artistic endeavor.
There is, we are assuming that bees are only good at two things, pollinating and making honey. But
that's
maybe
just
if they
ignorance.
Didn't have to do those two things, maybe they actually would be really good accountants. I mean, I have heard that bees can count.
I imagine a hive is like this organized place, right? Where people have jobs and they go out to work and they come back bringing things in. Yeah.
We could just replace all of the middle management in every business with a bee. Maybe that's how we monetize it.
They'd be pretty good at disseminating vaccines and things because they have little stingers in them.
Little stingers. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if I went to go and get my COVID jab and a little bee was there, I think I'd probably be okay with that.
Now, you said you had a few ideas rattling around your head.
Yeah, what if we shrink wrapped you instead?
Okay, I was feeling the profit from the bees. I do love that because the honey money, that's what I want. I guess shrink wrapping me, now I have to pay for that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
how is it just my nose? What's going on there?
Well, I think it has to be a whole head, doesn't it? That's the problem. That's because it gets, the pollen gets in your eyes, gets up your nose, goes in your mouth.
I see. Okay, yeah. There's some issues here with if my whole face is shrink wrapped, how are my vital organs going to become oxygenated? But
okay, all right. I've got a different idea. What if we hoovered all the plants? We just hoovered all the pollen straight off.
Ooh, that's okay. Now, right. That's actually it. You've cracked it. Because it's also quite monetizable. So you're walking along, you have a hoover, you're collecting all the pollen. Now you have a bag of pollen you can send and sell to Big Pollen.
Yeah. You can just sell that to the bees. They don't need to go out anymore because it's just right there.
You can bring it right to their hives. Okay, yeah, excellent. So it's just a hoover.
Yeah. I think that, or is another idea for you. We just kill all of the plants. We just go all in on dystopian wasteland. Scorched earth. Yeah, we just go full cities. There's no green anymore. We all just eat Huel. That's it.
Now, I do think living in a society where there is a Judge Dredd, that does require you to live in a hellscape.
Would you rather live in a Judge Dredd-esque mega city dystopian wasteland or a Mad Max desert dystopian wasteland?
Mad Max Desert, easy. Because Judge Dredd, there's only one Judge Dredd. And I don't think being a Judge Dredd is actually that good a job. Everyone else lives in these terrible towers where you end up getting Judge Dredd.
Oh,
he is true. The law and he will get you. Whereas at least in Mad Max, you could be in a cool car chase.
That's true. In both situations, though, no flowers.
No flowers. Hay fever.
No hay fever.
All-time low.
Yeah.
Alex, we've thrown out a lot of business ideas. What is your business idea? What are you bringing to the table?
I think what I'm going to land on, Andrew, is hoovering all of the flowers to get the pollen. Because I feel like that's actually self-sustainable because we can have lots of different companies. There's a bit of competition out there. Lots of companies, all with hoovers, all hoovering up the pollen and then reselling the pollen on either to the bees or to the pollen people, whoever likes the pollen. I don't know. The people who paint the trees. That's it. That's my idea. And then there's no pollen for anyone. The plants are all good. Maybe a little bruised from the hoovering, but Hoover company's they're going to make a lot of money because we're going to have a lot of hoovers. And I've just realized that Henry Hoover, if Henry gets hay fever, this whole plan is fucking fucked because his Hoover is literally his nose. So Andrew, welcome again to the ad section of the show.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm always excited to hear what our sponsors have in store for us.
Fabulous. How did you find the first half of the show so far?
I thought it was great, Alex. I'm always I'm the biggest fan of all your business ideas. Hence why this podcast exists.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Likewise, the feeling is mutual there. This week, we have yet another furniture advertiser, furniture seller advertiser this week.
We've got a niche, and that's okay.
Yeah. Do you know what I really hate, Andrew?
Hay fever.
I hate hay fever, yeah. I also hate not knowing what's going on inside my own house.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean? I hate that. I go out to the shops, there's stuff happening here. I don't know what it is. You know, I don't know whether people are having fun without me. I don't know whether I'm missing out on some cool stuff.
So it's not driven by micromanagement. It's driven by FOMO.
Yeah, FOMO. Exactly.
Okay. Right.
I don't like it. I don't like that. You know, if people are having a good fun time and I'm not here, it really irritates me. What I was looking for and what I found out in the market and managed to convince to come on the show to be an advertiser is a way that I can know whether I'm missing out on stuff. I can know whether there's something fun happening in my house that I'm not involved with when I'm down at the little Sainsbury's, and I can just turn around and come home straight away, drop all my shopping, my tins of tuna and my Cadbury's cream eggs, and I can just come straight on home.
Well, this sounds perfect for you. How does this product / service work?
Well, amazingly, you know, you can buy cameras and stuff for the inside of your house, but no one really likes those. They look like cameras, you know, sitting in the roof or whatever, stuck on a shelf, staring out at everyone, you know, and that it's not a good look. It doesn't look good. So instead, what this company have done is they've hidden a bunch of cameras inside furniture that you can buy for your house.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And do they just detect fun? Is there some machine learning there that someone's having a little dance? They send you a text like, get home right now. Someone's listening to Shakira.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what happens in order to avoid all the weird, dodgy ethical questions around what's happening. It's actually just detecting whether or not someone is having fun. Are they dancing to Shakira? Do their hips lie? Are people out? Are they having a kitchen dance? Are they, you know, as someone just like put a disco ball on inside the living room while you've been out at the shops? Yeah, that's what it's looking for.
Is pretty good. Like, because this, I imagine that they have services such as, are your friends hanging out without you? Is there a party happening that you should be invited to, but you're not? Oh my God. Lots of routes for monetization.
Lots.
Alex,
absolutely.
What's this service called?
Oh, it's called Spy Kia.
I can see a trend in these businesses forming. If one of our listeners have recently not been invited to a party that they wish they did, and they want to buy some Spy Kia furniture to spy on their friends and family, how they get in contact with us?
The best way, Andrew, is through our email, which is brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
Wonderful. I get hay fever really, really bad, Alex. There's someone came to my door a few days ago, and I opened it, and I was in tears because the hay fever was so bad. This is a thing close to my heart, and I'm excited to pitch my business to you, which will
I'm excited about it.
Not only make us vast quantities of money, but will also stop it looking like I'm crying in front of my neighbors. Because if you open the door and your eyes are really, really red and it's very clear that there's like, you're crying, no matter how often you say, don't worry, I'm not crying, you can tell they don't believe you.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
Are you familiar with the hit movie and book and movie franchise Dune?
Andrew, yes, I am familiar with the hit.
I don't know why I asked you that, because I know that somewhere in that room you're sitting in is a very nice Dune board game.
Yeah. It's true. How does this relate to hay fever, Andrew?
Well, aside from me just wanting to talk about Dune because it's a cool book and movie, in Dune, you know, no one's listened, if no one's watched it or read it, it's about this inhospitable desert planet called Dune. And people there, the Fremen, the people who just live there every day, they wear a thing called a still suit. And it is like I don't know what material is made out of canonically, but it's effectively a tight-fitting black one-piece onesie suit. So when they sweat, it absorbs their water and they can drink it through a little straw because there's no water on Arrakis. It's actually pretty disgusting if you say it out loud.
This is an interesting interesting thing that an interesting thread to have followed, Andrew, because Arrakis definitely counts as a place where there is definitely no hay fever.
No.
It's a desert planet.
That's true. These guys, Shai Hulud is not getting hay fever, you know? Bene Gesserit, no hay fever on June.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting, I was thinking about this because it's quite interesting. They have little things that go up their nose and like on their eyes to make sure they don't lose any water because it's so valuable on the planet. And I thought, you know, there's a few problems, not just hay fever in our society, one of which is fast fashion. So I thought, can we solve two problems at once? These still suits, I think, you know, it's been a while since I've been, you know, deep into the Dune forums, but I seem to recall like you have a still suit basically for years and that's all you wear. So why don't we make still suit-esque clothes for us normal people here on Earth, right? With like little tubes that go up your nose and little like snorkeling goggles to wear so that your nose and eyes just, you can't get the hay fever particulates in them and you're okay. And because you're wearing this snazzy cool suit, right? That's all you wear now. Day in, day out.
Right.
It is also, you fix this fast fashion thing.
So we started this episode by talking about the fact that you're going to San Francisco, the birthplace of reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
And it appears that you have reinvented the gas mask and the boiler suit in one go.
But this is cool though. We can sell this.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It could have like an app or something to track how much like particulates you're avoiding.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
It could be really slick. I'm practicing, you know, these sort of reinventing the wheel pitches for when I'm in San Fran. I could be like, hey, I've got some things you might like. And they're all nerds over there. So it's like, you like June and you like not getting hay fever? Well, have I got the thing for you?
It reminds me a bit of that. Did you see that Dyson face mask thing that they had?
Yeah,
that could hoover out the pollen or to protect your face from the pollen stuff. Or it's like a pair of headphones or something, isn't it? That blasts fresh air across your face.
When Sam sent in the question, she also sent in a picture of that being like, it's already solved. And I was like, Sam, it's not going to stop us.
It's not at all. Also, I believe, didn't they make that thing for COVID as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then it turned out that if you had COVID and were wearing it, it blasted COVID out across the room into everybody else's faces. Okay.
What I would say though is that is like the Android of this sphere. We're the iPhone. We've waited a while, see what the competitors are doing, and now we're coming out with a better version. You know?
Right. So this is the Apple still suit.
This is the Apple still suit. Up your nose, sun covering your eyes, and you look great as well.
I just imagining you walking into the office next week wearing a pair of really tight-fitting goggles and two tubes up your nose. But you haven't got hay fever, so it's okay.
I'm living the dream.
Yeah.
And you know, you're saving a lot on buying clothes and stuff. My other idea was around just, what if you just had a really good VR headset and you could explore the world that way? But I was like, you know, that's kind of sad. You're stuck indoors. You're not getting hay fever, but at what cost? You're inside. So I thought, you know,
as opposed to stuck in a still suit drinking your own piss.
But, hold on. Right. There'll be some small changes. So yeah, canonically, you do have to piss and shit in the still suit, and that is transferred in the water in which you drink. This version, no way. Society ain't going to accept that. We're going to have to wait till the 5th or 6th generation in OS before people are starting getting to that idea. So you pee and poo normally. This is just purely for, you know, this great fit,
right,
and the lack of hay fever.
I see. It feels like a step towards, like, it's something about Hewley about it, right? It's like
Yeah, very Huey. It's very Huey.
Yeah.
In fact, this isn't the Apple still suit. This is the Huel still suit.
Yeah, it's the Huel
And like
still
this
suit.
is look, you're covered in compartments that Huel can fit in, and there's a little straw that goes up into your mouth at all times. You could drink your Huel. So now it means this is uninterrupted coding.
Now
you're
I'm
drinking your Huel.
Yes.
Zero distractions from bad particles going up your nose. Maybe there's something that can spritz your eyes as well to keep you awake in case you need to be like fucking coding at 2 a.m.
Right. Now I'm here. Now I'm with you.
Okay, right. We always get to this point. We're both on board. Now we have two markets to sell to.
Yeah.
The people who are allergic to hay, which is actually a really crazy concept, seeing so much of the world. It kind of seems the world doesn't want us here, that every plant has the potential to make you cry. But we can sell it to those people like me. Yeah. And we can also sell it to the Huel super fans who think that they can eke out coding efficiencies over their rivals by, for some reason, having a still suit full of Huel.
I think the Venn diagram of people who have really bad hay fever and people who are developers is probably overlaps quite a lot. And that group of people in the overlap, they are sorted.
They're
absolutely sorted now.
How much? I think this is kind of my idea. But how much do you think we could sell a suit for? A single suit? I have a number in my head.
I was going to say £400.
Oh, okay. I just imagined we're at the Apple press conference. Tim Cook, VR headset, MacBook. One more thing. Apple / Huel still suit available next week. $19.99.
$19.99. Yeah. Oh, you mean $1,999?
$1,999 starting from.
Yeah.
That's just plain Huel. You want the good Huel? That's $24.99.
You want the Huel with texture? That's the. Do you like to chew your Huel? You got to pay more for that.
Well, it's the problem is if you need to chew your Huel, the straw technology to get into your mouth totally reworked.
Yeah, holy shit. The thing about this as well is that I totally could see the people who wear the Huel Hill still suit also being the people who wear the Apple Vision Pro goggles to film their child's birthday in 3D with their fake eyes on the front of it staring out at you.
I think if you wore a Huel still suit, the terms of your divorce would not allow you near your children.
Actually, just realistically there though, if you're wearing the Apple Vision Pro goggles, there's no pollen getting in your eyeballs.
That's true. It's also the nostrils though. But maybe Apple Vision Pro 2 will have just like a nasal angle to it as well.
It'll have another screen over the nose where it projects a fake nose out from your nose.
Oh. No. Yeah, so that's my idea. A still suit-esque wearable that plugs up your nose and over your eyes to stop particles getting up in you. And we'll sell it to Huel nerds.
So last week, Andrew, we had a request from somebody who wanted an estate agent that would sell their house faster, quicker, less stressfully. You had an idea about devaluing all of the other houses in the neighborhood.
Yeah, running a smear campaign.
Yeah. And my idea was about smashing up your house so that it would become a fixer-upper so that people would want to buy it and it would be cheaper.
I would say, before we get to the results, as always, two golden ideas. Both filled the brief. Your house is getting sold quicker. That's about it. But it both would work.
Yeah.
Sadly, market forces, namely James, the listener, he's driven by capitalism, man. He's not ready for your big picture future thinking. And he has decided that my idea for him in this one-time is his preferred option because he wants that money, you know? He doesn't want his house to get smashed up to become a fixer-upper to make it more valuable to people who like fixer-uppers.
What a bougie lad. What a bougie lad. I can respect that. He wants the dime. He wants the money. We're all in this for the money.
Exactly. We are a business-focused, business-oriented podcast. Even today, we were like, no, we can't let this be we can't, as a society, socially, this socialism idea of cling film all the flowers. We need to make it, about you and make personal profit. We shot down that idea. So we get it, James. We're not happy about it, but we get it.
Well, yeah, I kind of get it. But I think actually we, Andrew, as the owners of this estate agents, we would make more money with my idea because we'd sell more houses. Throughput would be higher.
That is true. So, Alex, right now, I've won 3 and you've won 1. And a listener, due to a loophole, has also won 1. I mean, bravo, James, for not trying to find a loophole. Now, though, maybe we'll do this later in the future, Alex, but if you listen to the show on Spotify, listeners actually vote on whose idea was better. And the public vote the results are very different than that. So maybe we'll find a way to bring them in. Yeah, they are. Yeah. I can see the answers.
Nice. Interesting.
If a listener has a problem that they need us to solve, how can they get in contact with us?
The best way is through our email address, which is brainsontheoutside@gmail.com. If you are a business owner and you have a weird business problem in your business that you want us to fix, if you are a person on the street who has a weird problem that you think there should be a business to solve, or if you are someone who knows us and you feel sorry for us and really think you should send something in, then please do it. brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
We would also absolutely love it if you could leave a review or share it with your friends. Sharing it with your friends means so much. That's the way that podcasts like ours get known about. That sort of word of mouth. So it'd be really great if you could do that.
Yeah.
Alex, do we have one last business idea?
Yes, I do, Andrew. Tiny little robotic arms that you can put onto a duck so that it can go shopping for you.
I love it. Keep your brain on the outside.
Keep your brain on the outside.